Sup, dudes? It's Snaps. How you doing? So I told you that I was gonna try to do more videos for this whole vlog thing because it seems like it's relatively easy. Like I know I still owe you guys Yo Snaps. I'm working on it, all right. But that like actually requires some level of effort. Like with this, I can just record for 5 minutes, upload, and then I'm done. So you can expect to see more vlogs, and I swear I'm gonna try to get the Yo Snaps thing done as soon as I can. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving to all of my American friends. I hope that you all had a great, great day today. I ate a ton of food and really enjoyed some family time. Okay. I keep saying okay, like that's the only way to start a new sentence. Anyways, one of the things that I talked about doing was a video to kind of explain a little more my backstory. I've given bits and pieces of it to some of you throughout my streams and stuff, but I know when I say things like birth mom or when I talk about, my siblings going and being with their mom and stuff like that, like you can get a hint that something's a little bit different in our family dynamic. And like everyone has, whatever, everyone has unique families and stuff, but I figured I would give you a little bit of that background today and kind of explain it so that it makes a little more sense to you. So, imagine, if you will, a very strange Brady Bunch style family. I wish I had a piece of paper because this would have been easier to draw. Maybe I can just do like little bubbles in this. Oh no, that would be too much work. Okay, basically, here's one woman, one man. We'll call them J and D, okay? J, being the dad man, has 4 children from a previous marriage, and then D, being the woman, lovely, lovely lady, aka Mama Snaps, has 3 children from a previous marriage. J and D meet each other, fall in love, all is great, they decide to get married. So each of them have been married before, they have kids from previous marriages, whatever, they all move in together, so suddenly each of them go from having 4 kids and 3 kids to having 7 kids together, somewhere around like high school-ish age and up. So like basically, they've got 7 kids that are all kind of like getting close to winding their way out of school. One of D's children, aka Mama Snaps, had some issues. She got mixed up in drugs and hanging out with the wrong kind of people. And she had 3 children, myself and my older brother and sister. And she was unfortunately not at the right state in her, or right place in her life to be able to take care of us the way that she would have needed to, and she was still a little messed up with drugs. And when I was roughly a year old, and my brother and sister were roughly 2 and 3, she abandoned us. So she left us with her mom and stepdad, which is J and D, and their kids to be babysat, and then never came back. So, basically my older sister, who was abandoned with me, had a lot of health issues and needed medical attention right away. The like our grandparents, basically, which is my grandmother and then my step grandfather, essentially, if you're kind of following the flow of this, had some choices to make. It was basically like, hey, we're getting ready to retire, what do we do here? Do we let these kids kind of go to the state? Do we rely on someone else in the family to maybe take them in now that their mom is gone? What do we do? But the important thing is that my older sister couldn't get any kind of medical help until somebody, basically a parent or guardian, could take her. So my parents now, my grandparents essentially, being the incredibly amazing people that they are, instead of just saying like, all right, we just got married, we already have 7 kids together, 3 and 4 separately, now one big Brady Bunch family, we don't want to do this anymore, these wonderful people chose to adopt all 3 of us. So they went from having a bunch of like teenagers and older to having a 3, 2, and a 1-year-old that they had to care for. They never intentionally deceived us and said like, we're your parents now or anything like that. Apparently what happened is, when we started to talk, we called them Grandma, Mommy, and Grandpa Daddy for a long time, and then it just kind of dropped off and they became our mom and dad, my older brother and sister and I. So after being adopted, my grandparents became my parents. All of my aunts and uncles legally became my siblings, which is also what I was raised as, or raised with. So all the people who saw my Periscope earlier tonight, all the people who I said these are my older sisters, older brothers, those are, some of them are biologically aunts and uncles, and some of them are biologically like nothing, they're step, whatever, but to me, to everyone in the family, we're family, they're my older brothers and sisters. So, I had my older brother and sister who were actually blood with me, and then my older siblings from like this whole adoptive situation. And then, roughly 15 years later, after all of us not really knowing where my biological mother had gone, if she was alive, if she was okay, you know, anything really that was going on in her life, um, she came back. That's like a whole story for another day, but the important thing is that she came back. She's clean. She's a wonderful person, a great mother, and she is a great mother to 3 new children, which is my younger siblings, the 2 that live with me, and then the one that's with her in Atlanta. So when we talk about like my younger siblings and my older siblings, and I have a million siblings, it's because when I was growing up, I was raised as the youngest of 10. And then, you know, everything kind of came to light, whatever. I have 3 new siblings, you know, when I was 15, 3 new siblings all of a sudden. And, you know, I go from having basically 8 older siblings to also having 3 younger ones. So it's like a really weird Brady Bunch style family with some adoption in there and some other weird stuff. Um, but I guess the main reason I wanted to do this was obviously so it makes a little more sense to some of you when I'm explaining my family dynamic and I'm referring to my siblings and not calling their mom my mom, even though she technically is. You know, I love her to death, but I have parents that raised me, so we have a wonderful relationship. She's a really wonderful person. Like, honestly, you guys would be shocked if you knew who she was today and you just found out, like, wow, you actually did that. Like, you'd be amazed. Like, there's no way, because she's such a wonderful mom to those kids. Um, Anyways, I'm so off track. It's so easy, and this is already too long. Um, I guess one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up, though, is because the last video I talked about depression and, you know, some of the stuff that I've struggled with over the years. And while some of it has a root cause, which is like this stuff, you know, some of it it's just I can't help it. But I did struggle with a lot of issues growing up. You know, identity issues, not knowing who my real dad was. That's a whole additional story we can get into later. Not knowing if my biological mother was alive, and for a good part of my life, I thought I was the reason why she left, because I was the youngest. And I was like, well, she stayed around for my older brother, she stayed around for my older sister. But then when I was born, she only lasted about a year before she dipped and never came back. So I had a lot of issues growing up from that, and that's part of the reason why I think I tried to kill myself when I was 15. It was before I actually met her, before she came back. I was in a really, really low point in my life. So, I don't know. If any of you guys have gone through stuff like that, you know, like adoptions or abandonment issues or like issues with your mom or your dad or whatever, um, we can talk about it now. I can relate to you guys on that. I've got all kinds of issues stemming from everything that went on in my life, and you know, it's nothing I'm ashamed of or anything. It's stuff my whole family has put a lot of effort into working through, and you know, we're really strong and tight knit despite everything. So that's my family story. TLDR, was abandoned as a baby, adopted by grandparents who are basically my parents now. Love my family, have amazing people around me, and I'm very grateful for them. So to kind of summarize all of that, this seemed like an appropriate video to do on Thanksgiving because it's another day where I'm reminded that my life could have been way different. Like, before she ran away, we were not living in the best area. We weren't in the best of circumstances. And even though my parents didn't have everything to give us, it was comforting once I started to grow up and understand everything that they went through, to know that there are 2 people who were willing to give up their entire lives. They didn't retire until their 70s to raise 3 more kids because, like, we're family and they love us. So today, oh no, I'm gonna get emotional. Fuck, I was doing so well. All right, not gonna do it. I'm good. Today, I'm thankful for my family, and I'm thankful for you guys, my extended family. You're fucking great. And it's cool knowing that I can come to you guys and talk to you about stuff like this, because there's such a wide variety of people in our community that a lot of us have dealt with some pretty weird situations. So, I think that's it. This is already a 10-minute video, and I meant to do only 5. Rip. Sorry. But that's it. That's the end of today's vlog, I guess. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and then maybe I'll add those in for the next video if there's some clarification you're looking for, because I'm definitely not going to watch all of this and then post it. I'm just going to throw it up. So, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you who celebrate. happy Thursday to all of you who don't, and just know that you're all incredibly special to me, and I appreciate you. I hope you all had a great day. Bye!